8 days ago, I started feeling sick. I spent the last 8 days, the last week, dealing with virus, COVID. Felt pretty out of it. 2.5 years, never got exposed or never contracted it, but did this week, and it really knocked me on my butt. Haven't been sick like that in a while. So, just making my way back. And this is workout number 2. Back at it. Just bringing the slow and steady approach. Coming in soft, slow. Hopefully build myself back up and not have any setbacks. But I chose to do fewer reps on some of the movements and went with a lighter kettlebell than I normally would in the persist programming. And now I'm going to do some bench press, which I'm excited about. What's going on, everyone? Here I am, 8 days after getting COVID, and man, it's been a rough week. I'm not gonna lie. It's been 2.5 years since this COVID outbreak happened, and I managed to avoid getting it for this long, at least to my knowledge, but definitely got hit. The family got hit pretty hard this week, and I shared a little bit about this on social media recently, and a lot of people were curious how I was gonna reintroduce exercise. Well, here I am, day 2 of back to training, and the first day was yesterday. I went super chill. Today, I actually did a full session, but I made some modifications to the workout just to choose lighter weights. I'll talk more about that. But the reality is I didn't feel motivated to work out at all in the past week. I felt pretty terrible. And people say like, oh, how do you rest when you're sick? Like, don't you just want to get and train? And I always say, like, I think the body will tell you what it's really needing. And I definitely had no energy to do workouts this week. And when I started to feel an itch to work out, instead of starting to train right away, what I did was I started incorporating more walking every day. So the first 3 days back were actually me just getting 10,000 steps a day. The first 5 days I was sick, I didn't do anything. I just laid around. I wasn't worried about my step count. But I started to get walking in before I started to do anything like push-ups or squats or even mobility. I was like, I don't even feel like stretching. I just want to get out and move some blood around. And that was my first introduction to, some purposeful movement. What I'm going to continue to try and do this week is I'm going to try and keep up my walking because that feels really restorative. And I'm going to try and keep my workouts on the moderate side from an intensity standpoint. I figure anything is going to feel more intense than yesterday. I know that, we talk a lot about progressive overload, and when you're sick for a week, you haven't lost all of your gains. All you did was basically reset to baseline. Like you've been doing nothing for a week. So when you decide to come back, I would try and take advantage of that. What is the minimum effective, dose that you can actually do in the gym to sort of push yourself a little bit more than the week before? So if you had 3 or 4 or 5 days off from training because you were sick, then come in and just do 50% of your workout, and that's going to feel like 100%. And so that's sort of what I did yesterday. I went for a walk, came back. My walk was my warm-up. I did a couple sets of Olympic lifts at light weight. Then I did 2 sets of front squats, that's it. And then I did 2 sets of Nordic hamstring curls and 2 sets of split squats, and I called it a day. No conditioning work, and all of my weights were light. And then from there, I literally just went for another walk, cooled down, and that was my training yesterday. Today, I actually followed a little bit more closely persist perform track, and I did some conditioning, a hot start to warm up, which I kept the kettlebell weight lighter than the program called for. I kept the reps a little bit lower than what the program called for. So I would say I did about 70% of the weights and 70% of the reps of what was supposed to be done. And that was sufficient for me just to open up my lungs again and get me breathing. Then for my weight training, what I did was I also kind of just rested as needed. I didn't follow the specific rest periods that were in the program. And what that allowed me to do is just listen to my body, go at my own pace, lift weights that felt good to me, and and not feel like I was either in a rush or like I needed to rest a full 4 minutes to recover from something that wasn't that heavy for me. And then finally, I did a conditioning piece here at the end, which was as prescribed in the training program, but the weights and the reps were just lower. And so I did about 75% of what the workout called for today. And I feel like I got a really great training session. Yesterday, I did 50% of what the workout called for. Tomorrow, I might do 80%, and I'll just work my way up until I start to get that itch to push myself even more and more and get back into 100% territory. I'm glad I got my workout in early today, so it's still before noon, which is when I typically work out. Yesterday, my day got thrown off, and I didn't actually have a chance to work out until the evening, which is not when I like to work out. And I tell you, like, after a big, long break from training, my motivation was pretty low. And on top of that, I was working out at a time that was not when I normally work out. So I almost bagged it yesterday and skipped it, but I knew that getting something in was going to get me back on track and feel better. So I did just that. I did something. So just a message to you all. Sickness hits everybody. Unexpected circumstances is going to come into everyone's life. You're going to get disruptions from training, and everybody, myself included, it can be hard to come back. It feels like a big obstacle. Motivation is low. It never feels good that first day back. It always feels hard. Yesterday, I front squatted 135 pounds for 10 reps, and it felt like I just lifted a house. And that's, for context, that's very light for me, but it felt terrible yesterday. So, it's not going to feel awesome on your first day back. But I already woke up this morning, had that little bit of soreness in my legs, a little bit of soreness in my core. And I like that feeling. I missed that feeling. And something else that I also noticed over the course of the week was that, more often than not, like if I have an ache or pain, it's from it's from training. It's from working out. It's from like I'm extra sore, or I, did a farmer's carry for a mile and my shoulders are tired or something. Shoulders are achy. It's been a long time since I've had pain from inactivity, and that was something I experienced this past week, was that I started to have really bad like low back and even like glute hip pain from not doing anything, from just being sedentary and sitting so much during the day, that I started to feel this strong reminder and pull back to the gym, because I was like, I need to start moving again. Otherwise, my low back is going to start hurting. And, sometimes we might forget that most people are suffering from pain from inactivity, not pain from being too active. So, these are good, again, reminders. Get forced out of the gym for a period of time, realize I didn't lose all my muscle mass, I didn't lose all my fitness. And if I keep it up for a long time, I'm going to start to feel the pains of not moving my body more and more and more. So I'm happy to be back in the gym, happy to be doing the things that, I love to do, and following a training method that allows me to sort of ease my way back in. It's not full throttle every single day. Anyway, if you're having any questions about how you should get back into training, specifics about how to overcome long layoffs from the gym, I'd love to hear what those are. Drop them in the comments below. Hope you guys are well.